Hello, welcome to Sheep Shenanigans Art. My name is Luann. For those of you that are visiting for the first time, welcome. I am a fiber artist. I live in southern New Mexico. I like to spin wool, weave, mainly weave rugs and tapestries. I love to tapestry weave. I do a little dyeing with natural dyes, acid dyes. I do some wet felting, needle felting, a little bit of quilting. Not a good sewer, but I attempt. And I'm learning how to crochet. So I'll show you my project I've been working on. I've had this channel not very long, a little over a year and a half, and I'm trying to get it going again. I had started it before I had retired in 2024, and had a plan that didn't work out. So I went back to work, but I had a month off there in June of 2024 where I started the channel, did a few episodes, and then I kind of got busy with my work. I'm a science educator for a nonprofit. So I've been busy with that. I get kind of tired from the kiddos during the day, so not a lot of time to put a podcast together. But I'm trying to start up again just because I want to contribute for those that want to learn how to do some of the things I know how to do. I don't mind sharing ideas and things like that. So we'll see where this goes. I don't know. Anyway, it's the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. It was very quiet here. I did cook a small turkey, made chocolate pumpkin pie. I had baked a pie. Actually, I had baked a pumpkin a few weeks ago that I got at the maze here in town, and I will put a picture of it and I'll put the name of it. It's some fancy pie, pumpkin that you bake. It's a cooking pumpkin. So, and it was really good. I made pumpkin squares, I believe, out of it right away, and then I froze some of the pumpkin. I made some pumpkin dog treats, and then for Thanksgiving I made a new recipe, chocolate pumpkin pie. So I might include, if I remember, I'll put that in the description. I got it online. Pretty easy recipe. And of course I used my mom's pie crust recipe, so that made it extra good. But I hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, relaxed, got to watch some football. I am a Nebraska Husker fan and tried watching the game. It was very depressing because we played Iowa and they beat us, of course. But anyway, I got my trees up, and maybe I'll show some pictures of those too. I'll put them up. But I got my big tree up, and then I have two littler trees this year. One of them is pretty special. Got from a friend, Mary, you know who you are. And I am trying to make it like an angel tree, and ornaments that I got from her. So it's a pretty cool tree. It's turning out pretty well. I'm acquiring more ornaments, so I will put a little picture in as well so you guys can check that out. But I'm trying to get into the spirit of Christmas. So I don't know, outside decorations. We shall see if I want to put any up this year. I don't know. I have so much inside, I might be Christmased out. That might be enough. Anyway, so the last time I talked to you guys, I think it's been a couple weeks, I was headed to Albuquerque to do a tapestry workshop at Fiber Arts on 4th, which is a new fiber store / workshop classroom venue that they do all kinds of classes. It's insane how many classes they do. And they're just over a year old. And I had 9 wonderful ladies in my tapestry class, and I taught them basic tapestry techniques, just stripes, meet and separate, which was like the basic thing. If they got anything, they learned anything, was meet and separate, how to make, diagonals by meeting and separating, doing hatching. I think we threw in some verticals, checkerboard, railroad tracks, whatever you want to call it, polka dots, sumac. And anyway, I will insert some pictures of 2 or 3 of the weavings that were finished. I thought they did all of the gals did a wonderful job. Some of them were brand new to weaving. Some of them had already woven, rigid heddle weavers. Anyway, it was really nice. It was lovely. Great class. One of my best classes yet. So I will try to coordinate and do another class probably in May of next year. So we shall see. depends on some things. Okay, so let me catch you up with some projects. So I have been weaving rugs. I think the last time I shared one of my rugs with you guys, I have completed 2 more since then because I have 9 yards of warp that I put on one of my 36-inch wide floor looms. So let me tell you a little bit about. So a friend of mine asked me about the weft that I was using, and I wrote it down. So years ago, I'm trying to think how long ago. It might have been before COVID. We had gone, well, the ex and I went to a fiber show, and there was a gal there that had tons of rugs that she wove, and she recommended greatnorthernweaving.com. And we bought, I don't even know how many pounds of, I guess they're salvages. They're cut them off of rugs. And so what you get is you get stuff like this. And so everybody's like, well, what are you using to make your rugs? You know, it's just a plethora. You order so many pounds. I don't even know if you choose a color palette. They just throw everything in. Comes in a big box. You have to separate everything, roll it up in a ball. But yeah, this is one of the sections that I was weaving with on one of the rugs. And they're usually, about this. They have this hairy stuff, tufts on the end. So maybe 1.5 inches or so, something like that. They range. And sometimes when they're held together, their edges, right? So sometimes, here's a good example. Sometimes you get sections that are just this string. And so I had one in one of my rugs that had a lot of that stuff. So when I would lay it in the weft, I had to scooch it because I had to make sure that I had enough weft instead of these strands to weave, which was kind of a pain, but hey, it made a beautiful rug. So I will put some pictures up. The one I have here next to me, let me show you, is 59 inches. It's 36 inches wide, and it's about 59 inches long. All right. And I'm just going to show you a little bit. I will insert a picture somewhere in here. I thought this one came out really cool because this is one color. This is another color. And then I think I even have another color down here. The very bottom. Just different. So it's kind of like a gold, silvery looking thing. But really heavy duty. So I got it finished, and of course the dogs. I put it in front of the Christmas tree. I think the picture that I will show you is in front of the Christmas tree. Dogs, of course, lay on it right away. But yeah, you can see it's just a plain weave. Nothing extravagant. Plain weave. Using those salvage ends that I showed you. And then on the ends that I do, so I weave, I don't know, 6 or 7 passes. I use 8/4 cotton rug warp for my warp. And so I usually do 7 or 8 passes with that to begin my rug. And then when I cut it off, I have all this fringe. And so I know you can buy one of those wooden ones that you crank. This one, I think it's a hair braider that I got off of Etsy. No, Amazon. Sorry, Amazon. I don't even know, $12, something like that. And it's got 2 settings. So you grab so this particular one, I think I did, so I have 2 strands, okay? And I think they're 5 warps each. So total of 10 strands together. But you separate 5 and 5. Let's see if I show you. And so that twists them, and then the back button winds them together. Okay, so each strand is twisted, and then when I'm done with the 2 strands, then it braids it together, so you get this little cable effect. So I do that. on most of my rugs. The first one I did not, that I showed you in the last video. I'm looking at it, it's on the floor. It's just fringe that I knotted at the base of the weaving. So hopefully these will, I've had good luck with these braided fringy things. They last quite a while. They withhold a lot of, or withstand, I should say, a lot of washings. Okay. So anyway, turned out really nice. So let me put this on the floor, and they're really heavy. They're really heavy duty. So I did 2 of those. The other one, I'll insert a picture, is in my living room underneath the coffee table. And it is more blues and like a pinkish color. So I'm trying to coordinate whatever they gave us and make something that looks decent. So really happy with my rugs. I think I have, so I've been cutting each rug off every time and then retying on because my salvage ends have been really wonky. The more it unrolls, the looser it gets. So I've been trying to keep it nice and tight by cutting each rug off and then retying it on. So I've tied it on, and I think I have one more rug left on it. We'll see. I have more salvages that I can weave, and then I think I need to switch gears to another project that I've been trying to do. It's been sitting on another loom forever. It's a blanket for somebody. So I will try to get that finished up before Christmas, and then I will tackle my alpaca core spinning project that I've been doing. I think I showed you that also 2 videos ago, that I want to do an alpaca blanket. So I think I will just warp the loom for that project because I have some brown cotton warp that I want to use for that as the warp instead of using this rug warp. I think that would be, it'll be prettier. So yeah, that is my rug project. It's coming along quite nicely, and it's pretty quick weaving. I can whip out a rug pretty, as long as it's all ready to go. I have my little header on there. I can whip it out in a couple days, and then cut it off and untie all the knots, and then do your twisting and all that. So yeah, hopefully I can get rid of that salvage because we've had it for a while. Okay, so that is my rug project. The other project, get a drink of water here real quick. I was learning how to crochet. So a little backstory, I am involved in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. I believe I had a little in September, I think is when I met her. So her big thing was she wanted to learn how to crochet. So finally, I learned basic chain and single crochet. And so let me show you what I've been working on, and then I'll tell you some more stuff about that. I have it in my little box here. So I'm using some yarn I got at Michael's. I showed you this a couple episodes ago. It's just wool. I had 2 bundles, 2 whites and 2 grays. I went back to Michael's because it was on clearance, and I bought the rest of what they had. I think it's 2 more whites and 3 more grays, and I'm just trying to figure out how much I'm gonna want, because I did the first ball of gray, and it's about 5 inches. Okay, each stripe's about 5 inches. I'm guessing. I'm not quite done with the white ball, but 5 inches. This is almost 10. So we'll see how long I want it. Because if 2 of them, probably, I don't know, I might make it 50, 60 inches long. I don't know. Yeah. But it's coming out quite nicely, I think. And this is in half. It's a little bit wider. Like that. So it's coming along. It's just taking a while. So this is my no thinking project at night, listening to TV. And I don't have too many mess ups. I had to get stitch markers because I wasn't doing my edges that's where I goofed. When I started to learn this years ago, I couldn't get my edges right, so I gave up. But the stitch marker is actually helping me. This side is not as good. When I started the white, you see there's a dip here. I don't know what I did. I think right here I didn't grab a stitch, is what I'm thinking. This side, where I have my crochet hook, is perfect. I shouldn't say that. I'll jinx myself. But I think it's, you know, I think when I block it, wash it, and block it, I think this will work its way back to how it should be, to even. But yeah, it's turning out quite nice. We're coming right along. And I'm holding it with this, I think it's wool poly blend of some sort that I had laying around. So I'm getting this going. And so last Saturday, I took my little and we went out to a coffee shop or whatever. We had some drinks and we went in the patio and I started to teach her how to crochet. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, she's really big on wanting to crochet a blanket. And I don't think she, you know, she's 10, so you know how kids are. I don't think she knew what it entailed. So I had her chain about this much. She got that. And then I had her do single crochet the first row back. Okay. And so I really wanted her to do another row, because after that row, then she could just go to town because it would be the same. But after the chain and then the first row of single, she's like, okay, I'm done. And she needed a break. So it took a little bit. And if anybody has taught kids how to crochet, okay, so I'm a lefty. That's the first thing, my problem. I'm a lefty, so I have to show her how to do everything right-handed. So I have to figure out how to do it right-handed so I can show it to her. And the tension, holding the crochet, the hook, that is what she's having problems with. And I had that same problem with the yarn wrapping around to get your tension. She's using her fingers to kind of manipulate the yarn and go under. But I'm thinking if, you know, she just sticks to it, she'll eventually figure out where she needs to hold the hook and how she needs to hold her fingers to get the tension of the yarn. So yeah, hopefully we'll see. I sent her home with some homework. I don't think she liked that idea of homework. She might remember, might keep going, might have a lot more done when I see her. I showed her how to do the third row, just showed her how to do that. But I don't know. We'll see. I might have to show her again when I meet up with her next week. So anyway, we are getting there. I'm just happy she's excited to learn to crochet. So yeah, that is my crochet project. Another thing that I did last weekend, actually, let me show you. So the museum that I retired from back in 2024, Farm and Ranch Museum, they have a food and craft show every year, and it is specifically it's tailored towards New Mexico food and craft. And so that means anything salsa, making local salsa. I'm trying to think. So I purchased, so they had they usually have a gentleman that has Criollo cattle, which is a lean. For those of you that don't know the back history of it, so Criollo were brought here by the Spanish. The breeds that we typically think of as beef, meat breeds are like Angus, Herefords, those kind of thing, and those are more from Scotland, Ireland, or Britain, those countries. And so the Criollo is from Spain, and they came here in the late 1500s. So they are more of a leaner meat, leaner cow. And for those of you that go to rodeos, they're basically the steers that they rope or steer wrestle are, I call them Corriente. So they're kind of descendants of the Corriente. So anyway, there was a gentleman there that was selling some, he's always there with beef. He's always at our market. He was not there this time. So I did not get any lean beef from him, but there was a local group I can't remember that. They're up in Albuquerque, a sheep group. They have hair sheep, so not wool, hair sheep. And they claim that the taste is a lot better on hair sheep because wool sheep, they have lanolin, and they claim that that's what makes sheep not have funky taste. I don't know. Comment below if you guys have anything to add to that. I thought that was interesting, and it makes sense. It does make sense. So the hair sheep they had someone was making pozole with sheep. Oh, sheep burger, I think. It was so good. Little, you could taste the sheep, a little strong. And then I got some stew meat, I believe it was, some lamb stew meat that I'm going to make stew out of eventually. So I like to try different things. So I think we're gonna make some of that. I got so inspired a year ago. I bought lamb burger, couple, I don't know, 3 or 4 pounds of it, and I had one left, and I went ahead and browned it, and I made pozole when I got home that weekend because I was inspired. But it's local, anything local products like I got a lot of lotions. There's a gentleman in Alamogordo, has a lavender farm, and he has really good, like they call it black ice. It's scrub for your hands, and my hands are so dry because I have some psoriatic issues with my skin. So, and here living in the desert, my hands crack a lot. So the black ice really helps with that. He sells some sort of lotion with CBD in it. So lots of, and it's all local, so it's really wonderful. But anyway, I went with one of my friends, and they give bags out to like the first 100 cars each day. So we went early Sunday because Sunday mornings aren't really busy. I think that's church day, so everybody's in church. But anyway, they changed their bags. They used to look like this, okay? And this is a food and craft show, basically sponsored by the New Mexico Department of Ag, and that's, you get in the program. I was part of the program when before COVID hit, with all of my hand spun, because I was using basically local Rambouillet sheep and Navajo churro, and I was creating yarn and selling that. So I was part of the program. Then they redid all of the requirements, and I just didn't have time to get all the stuff I needed to prove everything was homegrown. So I haven't done it. I haven't done a show in a long time. But anyway, that's NMDA. And then the new bags look like this, which is kind of cool. So got one of the new bags, and it's like insulated and everything. So kind of a cool, here's the back. Farm and Ranch. Oop, right there. So if you guys are ever in Las Cruces, New Mexico, that's where it is, you can come to the Homegrown Food and Craft Show the weekend before Thanksgiving, okay? All right, so that is one thing I went to. I also, when I went to teach my tapestry class, let me show you. Ruth Baldwin owns the Natural Twist. She has a little storefront there in this complex where the classes are held, and she has a small fiber mill. I don't know, Ruth, I don't know if you're still creating bats and roving and that kind of thing. I don't know. I didn't ask her, but I went over there. It was kind of funny teaching the class because she has a lot of stuff, and the students in the class, I provided yarn, but some of them went over there because she carried the what is it called, Brown Sheep Company yarn. So she would sell. They would go over and they'd buy some skeins of that, and then they would wind them into balls, and so I was showing them how to do that, and then they were looking for different shuttles, and not necessarily tapestry bobbins, but they're little shuttles that you can wind your yarn on to put your weft on. But anyway, they would go over there and they'd be shopping, and then they'd come back and weave, and it was a lot of fun. So on Sunday, because they pretty much had it down, and I was just there for any questions they had. But I went over to see what Ruth had, and I'm a sucker for roving. She had a couple of these. These are from Greenwood, a hand dye company. This is BFL. I'll show you the tag. And I just thought this was a pretty cool colorway. I think it'll make a pretty nice yarn. So I got this, and then I got one more because we're in autumn, we're in fall. Same company. This is Autumn Leaves. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So when I get done with my rugs, I will sit down on one of my nicer wheels, and I have a, oh, what is it called? I have a wheel that is mesquite, and I am forgetting the name of it, but I will put it here in the comment right here. I'll type it in, and it's a wheel. It's like an Elizabeth style wheel, the Saxony wheels, Elizabeth Ashford or something. It's like that. It's a Saxony wheel. I love it. I bought it from a guild member in Albuquerque before COVID. I don't know why I can't remember the name, but I'll put it up. Wyatt. It's a Wyatt wheel. If anybody, I'd love it. However, I am a left-handed spinner. This wheel is for right-handed people. And the way the treadles are scooched, I can't do long draw because I'm like, it's awkward. My feet are this way. I'm trying to do this. It does not work. It's just not ergonomic for me. I love the wheel. I need to give it up. A new wheel, the gentleman that built this wheel has passed on, and an apprentice, somebody took over his shop. Can't remember his name offhand. And I've been trying to see if, he would like the wheel somehow. I don't know, trade it in for a lefty wheel, but I can't. $4,500 is a lot for a wheel, so I did not pay that much for this wheel. But if anybody would love a Wyatt wheel for right-handed people, a Saxony wheel, let me know. But it's a treat to spin on. If I just do, short drafting, it's a treat. It's just I can't just do long draw because my feet are here and I cannot do it. It's just does not work for me. So I might pull that out and see. Otherwise, I'll probably do that. I have my Lendrum. My Lendrum I put a big bobbin on because I'm doing the core spinning on it. And I actually like that wheel with the big bobbin and the big flyer for plying. So I am rethinking how I ply because I have a Spinolution King Bee that I'm trying to de-stash a lot of my stuff. There's stuff I don't need anymore. So I don't know if I should keep my Spinolution or not. I don't know. That is the question. I certainly don't need it if I have this Lendrum now that does really good. It has a big orifice with that flyer for art yarn and for plying. So anyway, those are my dilemmas. So we have wonderful roving. Yeah. So let me see. Sorry, my eyes, I can't see very good today. It looks like I don't want to go over, 30 minutes. I like to keep these videos pretty short. And I'm able to put the timestamps in the description. So if there's something that you want to skip forward to, you don't want to listen, just look at the timestamps and go ahead and scroll forward. So moving forward, I'm going to finish my rug. I'm going to pull out my tapestry project with the curves. I'll show you that next time. And I need to finish that. And talk about the cactus flower loom. And when I went to Albuquerque, my good friend Nancy, thank you so much, gifted me, I'm going to say it's on personal full-time loan, a small cactus flower, because I don't know if you can buy them anymore. I heard they're moving to California, but I want to get that warped up to get a project on there. So I have those kind of tapestry projects, and I'm not using any of my hand spun. It's all going to be, I have a bunch of Anahara, I think that's how you say it, yarn that I purchased from a fellow Tapestry weaver that was here in town. And so I have a bunch of colorways that I just need to dabble in that and just go for it. So yeah, we'll figure that out. The other thing, and I don't want to show you today, I will do it next time, but couple things I should say. So I have a quilt that the 9-patch quilt, I will pull that out. It's getting cool enough that I can quilt on that here in the house because it's heavy and it's warm. So I will see if I can get that finished, the quilting part, and then put the binding on in the next 2 months. I'm going to give myself maybe, but I will show you that. And then the other projects is I have a bunch of primitive wool, I think it's primitive wool gathering, embroidery. I bought some kits. It's like a monthly kit thing where you make blocks and then you put them together and you make a quilt. So I need to pull those out and start doing the embroidery. It's wool applique basically. So yes, Miss Mary has inspired me to get that pulled out and get that project going. I have no idea how long that's going to take me, but it's needlework. And then in the meantime, I will keep doing my crochet, getting excited about the blanket. It's starting to take form, and it's not, it's going to be a nice blanket, nice throw. So yeah, so those are the projects I'm working on. Christmas is coming along. I tried to look for advent calendars, and I should have started months ago because they're all sold out, of course. And then I found some on Etsy. However, a lot of them from the UK, and I just can't think about paying $30 for shipping for a kit. So I ordered some other things like Black Friday specials that I want to, there's a couple projects that I bought. I'm like, why not? Let's just get those for the holiday season. And I think I actually, when I get it, I will share it in one of my upcoming videos. I got similar kind of an advent calendar. It's a box that I got from a fiber place here in the United States. So when I get those, I will do my videos and I will share those with you because I do like to do new things. So stay tuned for that. I thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying some of the projects I'm working on. If you like the channel, subscribe, share. I'm here to, if you have questions, comment. I love comments. Send me a comment and I'll answer you. But I really do appreciate it. And this time of year, I got my little poinsettia out. I just love the fall. I love the holidays. I think now more than ever, getting dark at 5 o'clock. Fiber. I love doing fiber projects. So anyway, enjoy December because that's coming up tomorrow. So enjoy December, and I hope to see you sooner rather than later. And I will share when I get some of these projects in the mail. I will share what my acquisitions will be. Okay. So anyway, until next time, thank you so much for joining, and have a great week.